My name is Manelisi Wolela, and I'm responsible for media and stakeholder relations and in the Parliamentary Communication Services of South Africa. And we work very closely with ICT, and in this instance, I've been assigned to do the presentation. And I'll not talk to everything that is on the presentation. We're dealing here with a challenge, a critical challenge of ensuring that a parliament is customized, is adapted to the new demands and the framework. First of all, it's important for us to indicate that we have a bicameral parliament with the National Assembly, as well as the National Council of Provinces. And in total, we have 490 members of parliament. And besides that, we also have 9 provincial legislatures in South Africa that are working collaboratively as part of the legislative sector. Central to our work is ensuring that there's a very clear commitment as an activist parliament, focusing on the outcomes and making a difference to the citizens of South Africa. And in essence, our vision calls upon us to be citizen-centric, focusing on giving a holistic, better and meaningful experience to citizens across all these areas. As the 6th Parliament following the 2019 elections, we have also adopted an oversight and accountability as well as public participation and communication model, and as well as a new knowledge management strategy and the ICT strategy. So they are so interlinked, and I want to believe that everybody would understand why we're doing that. As a citizen-centric parliament in terms of our approach, we've been commissioning research to put our finger on the pulse of how the citizens of South Africa are feeling. And we have been doing that thing since 2016, and we've been making improvements along the way to assess both public perceptions as well as stakeholder satisfaction levels in South Africa. With the COVID-19 coming, a lot of things had to be changed drastically. And I think by April last year, we started with our online virtual meetings of the parliamentary committees with the Parliamentary Committee on Health, providing oversight over the introduction of the stringent regulations to ensure the national lockdown is successful and we're controlling the spread of COVID-19 last year. And from that point, we have grown phenomenally from really elementary experiences and performance in that space. And if you can look at what was happening at that stage in terms of members and understanding using these technological gadgets, smartphones and computers, etc., by members, we had our own experiences, but we are happy we've moved so drastically from that point to where we are sitting now. And the other thing which we have done very well and strengthened is that last year we stepped up efforts to set up our dedicated television studios, which are enabling a much more efficient, seamless transmission from live productions to pre-productions that are broadcast, the canned programs, as well as live studio anchoring of programs and interviews that are being done that are increasing substantially the kind of listenership and viewership of our parliamentary TV channel. We're also working on a range of other things, like, for example, improving tools for tracking various performance indicators of the institution, including instruments like perceptions, the point of service measuring of the satisfaction of members of parliament. And we are outlining the overall picture in terms of the priority areas that have been framed and emphasized for the 6th Parliament. We also working very strongly on better integration of our work, because I mean, with the COVID-19 and the demands of the people and the pressures that are there, they are less concerned about how you structured behind the scenes as your backroom arrangements. People want services that are priorities to them at a given time. You would look at that. We are reconciling both the integrated ICT strategy as well as the communication strategy, which focuses on shifting people and along the journey from ignorance to advocacy for parliament. And in the process, ICT has become so central in the efforts and the work that we are doing in parliament. and to improve service delivery. We have reviewed and revamped our website to enable more on-site service delivery through our website. We are working to position ourselves to optimize the digital terrestrial transmission migration that is taking place in South Africa. And also we're emphasizing on the real-time communication interface with the citizens of South Africa. Just to give you a very brief overview of what has taken place over the last few years, and with some indications of the challenges we may be facing during the year of COVID-19, we have witnessed significant improvements in terms of public perceptions, and where we can see there the decline in terms of the year of COVID-19, but that decline is very small compared to what we're expecting, because there's so many other positive things that have developed, like, for example, the reach of the people through television, through various other means. We have witnessed a significant increase in terms of use of social media by 125%, as well as television, radio, and you name them. I'm outlining there our oversight and accountability model, which has got a very clear milestones in terms of the 5-year cyclical process, as well as the annual and quarterly cyclical processes. Our intention is to shift to more integrated and meaningful experience of the citizens of South Africa in terms of the work of Parliament. We're working on various projects, and I'm going to reflect on them going forward. The free-to-air parliamentary television, the bulk storage of digital media content that is generated from our productions right across. We are working on transforming the switchboard contacts to a state-of-the-art contact center, which is integrated to other means, including the petitions, and you name them. And that's an overview of our strategy, ICT strategy, and it's intended to ensure that we enhance various flagship programs of parliaments as well, including taking parliament to the people, the sectoral parliaments, like women's parliament, youth parliament, etc., because that's one area where we have a serious problem in terms of connectivity with young people. We are also working on automating many of our business processes, getting to grips and trying to ride the wave of the crest of the wave of the fourth industrial revolution. I've talked about social media, the revamping of the website, the broadcasting that is taking place, the switchboard, the public engagements. We have witnessed also a significant improvements in terms of public engagements during this period, using also the WhatsApp platform. And it's quite commendable that in the recent public hearings that we had, we also had over 6,000 inputs that came from people, over and above hundreds of thousands of email inputs in terms of public hearings on the amendment to the Constitution, which we're working on. What is also good is that we have a comprehensive system for tracking the impact of the work we are doing from different angles. But there's so many challenges that we're facing still. One of them is cybersecurity, which is #1 security challenge that we're facing. We're working on legislative drafting, moving petitions to be done online, the resolution tracking in terms of various interfaces that we've done with the citizens, the Institutional Performance Data Center, which is going to enable members of parliament to access at the fingertips with a dashboard outlook of where we are sitting as the institution, and they can customize it to their constituency areas. And we have we're working on online content development system, universal access and zero rating, because one of the problems is those disadvantaged areas that are underserved, which are not be able to connect effectively despite this massive increase in terms of people that have access to this. The e-voting is a problem, but for example, there needs to be a clear integrity of that and the ability to ensure secret voting. Like recently we had to get members back to the legislature to be able to elect a new speaker. So these are the challenges that we're working on currently, and we are right on course in terms of riding the wave and optimizing the e-parliament opportunities going forward. Thank you.